106.7 KCAL rocks. It is time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep. It's Thursday. We're getting close to that big game, aren't we, Pep?
We are getting close, man. Obviously, there's that weekend in between, the conference championship games and the Super Bowl. So a little bit of a lull. Well, I think we have the Pro Bowl games, right, going on this weekend, right? So we got that.
The flag football game. My kids are very excited about it because they play flag. So I guess maybe it's working in a weird way.
The big stars didn't want to play in the old traditional Pro Bowl. That was actually football, although nobody actually, went 100%. Everyone was taking it easy anyway. So this was their compromise, right, to keep the Pro Bowl going in some fashion, right, that weekend before the Super Bowl.
Right, and it does actually kind of connect with young people, which I guess they're going after because my kids are all excited to watch it, I guess.
Well, and that's probably exactly why they're doing it, right? Not for the old heads like you and I who are like, oh, man, in my day, they used to play the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, and they wear helmets and pads.
Yeah, man. So, Sean Taylor taking people's heads off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody told him we're not playing for real. So
this isn't full speed, guys? What's up?
So we do have that this weekend, but the Super Bowl is the following weekend. February 9th, I believe, is the exact date of the Super Bowl. The Eagles and Chiefs down in the Big Easy in New Orleans. That will be the host site for the Super Bowl. And it's just funny right now, leading up to the game, I feel like Kansas City is very polarizing. Either you love the Chiefs or you want to see them lose. There's not a lot of middle ground. And I think a lot of people are, for that fact, I'm one of them. You want to see the Eagles win for the simple fact that you just don't want to see Kansas City win. And I see, these funny memes and stuff on social media. It's like, can both teams just lose? Do we have to have a winner? Can they both lose in this game? But no. Someone's going to win. And I think a lot of people are pulling for Philadelphia, not because they want Philadelphia. It's just they just don't want to see the Chiefs win again.
Right. It's who not to vote for, kind of in a way. And there was a poll, just like you said, that most of the United States would love it if both teams would lose. And we are in the Chiefs fatigue era, man. If you're on the Chiefs side of it, you're loving it. It means you're very successful. But, I mean, this is what happens. It's happened with the Yankees. It's happened with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And now it is the Chiefs. People get tired of you winning all the time. So, as they say, you got to beat them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd even throw, Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR, the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA when they had, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. It's like, okay, somebody else, come on. Somebody step up and knock these people off.
Yep, you got to stop them.
Yeah, so we'll see who's going to stop him. Plus, I can't speak for everybody else. I'm only speaking for me. But the fact that they're always winning, the referees are clearly on their side, and then you mix in Taylor Swift, who I can't stand. It's just like they're so unlikable to me. But again, I'm only speaking for me. I'm not the mouthpiece for everybody else out there, but that's why I want to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Well, there's always the joke about the script, and what the script says.
Yes.
They want Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl because the bottom line is they are a business, and because of her, a lot more women are watching football. So I'm sure they're not hating that she's there.
Oh, yeah, I've already heard the conspiracy theory that the Chiefs are going to three-peat, Travis Kelce's going to announce his retirement, and then propose to Taylor Swift on the field. I've seen all this stuff. It's already scripted how it's going to go next Sunday.
I mean, come on, she's already going to be a prop bet. We already know that. How many times are they going to show Taylor Swift in the box? You can bet on it. I mean, Vegas is in on it. It's wild, man.
Money's on the line, so.
Yep.
We'll see. We're getting closer to the game. But remember, Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, was also the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he also got them to a Super Bowl. In fact, this is the second time, obviously, he's faced his former team in the Super Bowl. And I saw a crazy stat, Patrick. You might have seen it as well. Andy Reid has the most career victories with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs in their respective franchises. He's won more games than any other coach for both of those teams.
Right. He is the one very likable character in this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to dislike Andy Reid. He is also a Southern California native.
Yeah.
So there is kind of there's the infamous video of him in the punt, pass, and kick where he looks like he's 37 years old because he's next to like a 10-year-old kid. Nevertheless, he is the one kind of guy where it's like, I do like Andy Reid. He likes cheeseburgers. I like cheeseburgers.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for him, and I think getting to Kansas City really showed how great of a coach he was. I think everyone respected him and knew he was a good coach. And I think that was like the Terrell Owens Eagles team that he
Yep.
got to the Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb as the quarterback. Like, I mean, they were good. I wouldn't say they were great, but they were good. But he got them to the Super Bowl.
Correct. And then he had Alex Smith as kind of the bridge quarterback in Kansas City. And
Yeah.
then clearly he found the QB. And once you have that, look out.
They say it's a head coach QB league, right? If you can get that match, that combo, that duo right, then you're going to have a really good team for years to come. And a lot of teams are still, toiling out there, like trying to find that right match. In fact, I might as well bring this up now. The New Orleans Saints are the only NFL team right now that does not have a head coach. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe one of the coaches, one of the assistants that will be coaching in the Super Bowl is the front runner to be the Saints head coach. People are saying maybe Kellen Moore, the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator, will take over the New Orleans Saints after the Super Bowl. But the Saints are the only team out there without a head coach. And I'm a Derek Carr guy, but he's getting a little older now. Like maybe Derek Carr isn't the solution in New Orleans. So they got to figure that out between their quarterback and head coach duo.
Pep, I definitely think you're onto something because there's no way an NFL team, I don't care how, dilapidated you think they are, would be waiting this long to get their head coach. I think it's pointing to Kellen Moore. We'll see if that is true. I don't know why on earth they would be waiting for anything else. I know Mike McCarthy, people were making fun of him on the internet because he said, I'm taking myself out of the running. And they're like, how can you take yourself out of the running of something you weren't even in? But blah, 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 blah. I think you're right about they're waiting for an assistant that is involved in the Super Bowl to hire as the next Saints head coach.
And I guess it would be poetic. Let's say for the sake of this conversation that the Philadelphia Eagles, they win the Super Bowl. And Kellen Moore, after the game announces, I'm going to become the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. He's already right there. That's going to be his home field. Like he could go into work that next morning and start on the job if that's the way it played out. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't see another scenario why the Saints would be waiting this long when all these other teams are snatching up their coaches like Pete Carroll to the Raiders. I mean, they pulled that trigger pretty quickly.
Very excited about that. But yes, it's a good point. I think you're onto something.
So we'll see. But the Saints are the only team out there without the head coach, and they got to get the quarterback right. I'm not saying Derek Carr's not that guy. Maybe with the right coach, he could still be that guy because I'm a Derek Carr fan. But they have not got it right. So we'll see what they do going forward. And speaking of quarterbacks, getting it right, the Rams with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. And Patrick, I'm going to throw something out here. So I would say, outside of our guy Jaden Daniels, who obviously I'm a huge fan of, and I think he is the future of the NFL if he's not already. But I would say right now, even at 36, going to turn 37, Matt Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFC. And that pains me because I'm a staunch Brock Purdy supporter because my 49ers, and I love Jaden Daniels. But I think right now, I mean, can you think of a better quarterback in the NFC right now than Matt Stafford?
I cannot. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think the Eagles are damn lucky that the Rams didn't defeat them in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Rams were the most dangerous team in the playoffs, and a huge part of that. And you were just talking about the coach-quarterback relationship. We got a great one here in L.A. with McVay and Stafford. I mean, he nearly made it to the NFC Championship game. Who knows what happens from that point on? I mean, they're not that far away from possibly getting into this Super Bowl. It would have been crazy wild. But I knew, after the game after the season, you heard Stafford be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, with that kind of run and with the draft picks that they freaking hit on.
And their defense,
McVay,
too. Oh, my gosh.
The curse, you got to run it back, Matt. And I'm kind of glad, even though I'm a Seahawks fan, you're a 49ers fan, I'm glad for him that he's going to do it one more time. You never know, man. I think he's dangerous as hell.
Yeah, no, again, like I said, I'm a 49er fan, so it pains me to say it, but he is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I think Jaden Daniels will be at some point. If he's not, I mean, Jaden Daniels is probably on his heels right now. But yeah, reportedly he is coming back, and he's 36, going to be 37. I mean, look at what Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and I know they're really taking their time, playing the length of their career. But Matt Stafford, I feel like he probably still has several good seasons left. Now, the caveat on this is, reportedly he's coming back, but he wants a new contract because I guess the contract he currently has, the future years coming up on the contract don't have a lot of guaranteed money. And if you're a football player, especially a quarterback, you want that guaranteed money written into the contract. So it sounds like he's coming back, but they'll probably have to work the contract a little bit because the Rams are still really good. They're actually pretty young across the board, and that defense is awesome.
I think he is the perfect bridge quarterback. They both know he's not going to play forever. Maybe a 2 or 3 year deal where McVay can develop a younger quarterback underneath him. But it's nice, even though he's older, that he's still good enough to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, he almost did it.
Yeah.
I think if he wouldn't have the rib injury, Philadelphia could have been in serious trouble. And you never know, man.
Yeah.
So I think the Rams are actually in a really good spot here.
Yeah, I think McVay even said that, that divisional game on the road in Philly, they had the ball at the end, and he didn't see any other scenario other than them winning that game and moving on. But Eagles got to stop when it mattered the most in the snow. But, the Rams were really a play or two away from, advancing to that championship game and, taking on I guess it would have been Jaden Daniels, right, and our Commanders. So.
Right. Who knows what would have happened? It would have been a little homecoming for Jaden coming back to L.A. That would have been something else. But there's always next year.
Always next year.
Nobody knows that better than Pep and myself with our teams. We will save our Super Bowl projections until next week. I know Pep and I will put some serious thought into it. I actually think it's going to be a really tight game, but we'll see. No one has stopped Saquon Barkley, so there's a lot for us to think about. And we will, of course, get all caught up on the business. Both of these teams, we're kind of in that zone where it's like, okay, nobody get arrested. That's what we're waiting for. Nobody get in trouble. Nobody end up in Mexico, like with the Raiders situation.
Yeah.
Let's stay in our hotel room and let's get to the big game. Pep, tell them how to get yourself.
I will be marinating on this matchup all weekend long. In the meantime, get my stuff on Inland Sports all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have Inland Sports on YouTube. That is Inland Sports.